Just into the open, and this is Eve for MarketWizards.com and eMiniWizard.com, reminding traders to use risk capital you can afford to lose. It's the 1st of April, 2019. These type opens are very challenging for both sides because we know just based on where we are, we've gapped up so much. So there's a limited upside right now. Both sides are going to think they have the right idea. We know that anybody that tried to short overnight is still on a leash. We know that anybody wants to buy here is totally a weak hand compared to where we left off with the squeeze at the end of the day on Friday. So it tends to suggest a two-way day. Now, one of the traders I started to correspond with out there on Twitter, I know he had another session last night. I really wanted to go and take a look at what he was doing, just to, out of curiosity. I remember him talking something about the opening range type trade. That's something Zeke and I had learned way back when. We call it the opening reversal game, ORG. And typically, you're going to get probes in both directions. And then a lot of times those traders would think that, okay, whatever side it broke from, that's the way it's going. My work doesn't suggest that as much as you can get chopped, taking out one side, but not much follow through. Take out the other side, not much follow through, as they probe and establish the range. And we call that the opening reversal game. And a lot of traders think that it's a directional move, but typically I've found it's not necessarily a directional move as much as it is probing for stops in either direction and seeing which side emerges stronger. So until a low of this bar is broken, that's support. Until a high is broken, that's resistance. But then you'll start to get a couple of bars that will give you the range. And we've got that documented in our criminal handbook and in our rule book, and it's called ORG, Opening Reversal Game. Now, this chart we can see is more effective to help us as a guide than this one right now, other than telling us, whoa, what are you doing way up here? And if you want, then you can put this one back on a smaller denomination like a 5 or a 2 or whatever you want. It's a 2-minute chart. Current opening range we suggested. First things first, that 54 and at 59 to 60. And we said, let's make a box. Let's make believe that we've got a range right now with this 51 to 52 aggressive support trying to get to the 61 to 62s and range trade it. It's all you can do. Cannot expect a big move right now. So both sides are probing to, it's like two boxers in the first round, the first minute of a boxing fight. And other than Mike Tyson, who comes running out and smacks you silly and knocks you out in the first, 30 seconds. Usually you're going to be jabbing and sparring and trying to, feel for the other side's weakness. Try to get a couple of, you don't go for the headshot normally first, you go for the body blows. So don't expect a big range this open. So this is what I mean by crumbs. Crumbs are left because we have to wait for these moving averages to catch up to us. And we'll put this one on a 1 or a 2 because that'll catch up to it faster than the 5, obviously. Do not overtrade. And I say you can probably trade two-way day, but I think the long side is probably the better play, despite the fact we're way up here. It's the beginning of the month. That's part of the problem for the shorts. And it started way down here. The other part of the problem is the length of this move. So you can't expect as much on the long side. And not a lot of news coming out. So range type trade. Demon right now is in control. And this is what I meant earlier by if you like the short side, you're better off waiting until the open when you get an RTH, a little bit bigger boys pushing, because you and I aren't going to move the market. The big boys are. 2A day. Still got the range that we've articulated. We're playing the range from 52s to 62s. That's all you can do. And range trade it. If you like the short side, think small bites. It's a rabid dog day for now. Huge gap up. And truthfully, there's better odds for a couple of points short side, but ultimately, I'm not convinced that's the right way to play today. We shall see. And remember, double top is usually within a point either side of that prior high. 3-minute chart seems to be about right for now. I'm expecting chop. If you know something I don't know, let me know. Anybody buying at these highs or weak hands compared to where we were on Friday? Reminder. Shorts are still on the hook until we take out the low of the overnight bar. It's a 3-minute Globex chart, which is unbelievably fast. 5-minute is fast. This was that news spike at 8:30. And what we're looking at, in my opinion, is a range trade. Aggressive shorts are using that 62 to 65 resistance. That's a target today. There's a gap up there at the 63 range. Using that as the resistance to try to come back and test support. And I think it's going to be harder than we think to get back for a reasonable size trade. And I'd said earlier, I think it may be hard to break the 52s. So that's the basis of the range type trade. Actually, that would be a great target to come back and test, but so hard with the bots. But look at this squeeze pattern. Chop, chop, chop. And then right into the close, gotcha, and then throw it up overnight. Here we are. Here's your 5. You can see how well this 5 worked on Friday. Said 42s, make sure you pay 42s. Thing slams down and slams right back up into the close. Bypasses at 42, so that's got to be our primary aggressive support. $62, the aggressive resistance. It's a target today. And this is a 5-minute chart. Half gap trade I've got is 49.5. Said earlier, I'd be very surprised to see us break 52s. But you want to do your work, do your numbers anyways. So what is the average true range that we had overnight? What's the range that was established? How many points? So if you're talking about the actual print range, then that would be obviously from the low of the bar. But I want to account for all of this. I want to count from where we closed. So it's a little bit more than that, actually. Right? It's 21 points. Over 21. And there is no right answer, but that's one of the things I want to calculate and understand. And I'm still using that squeeze pivot right here at 52s. Saying that support till broken aggressively. But I want to account for the gap, this range in here as well as we go forwards. This is non-directional trading right now if you are trading. There is no edge to thinking a huge move in either direction. The wind is blowing at the back of the longs. The question is, can it sustain that to take out the high and try to get to that 62 to 63, close that gap, and then test 66? By one of our measures, we've already hit our target of 60.75, 61. So the gravy part is above 61, in my opinion. Yes. Thank you, Dan. And anybody tells you this is easy trading doesn't know what they're talking about. This is the easiest type of trade is when you get into a runner that just keeps on pounding either down or up. You know, like the end of the day on Friday, we'd smelled out that trade. Bang, take your profits. Anybody wants to buy going into the weekend? If you're rebuying based on the wedge, fine. You're not expecting a new high, but you're expecting short stake profits, get a 5-6 pointer back. And then until you understand the power of the boys and how they can move the market, trading will be hard. And it seems they do it a lot overnight these days. And you can see how there's been no sustained move, a directional type move. And we talked about that, the opening range game. Probe one side, probe the other. Come back and probe the other side. Take profit. Very tight trading range. Keep an eye on NQ. That seems to be coming back, and eye is intact for now. I think if you're trading, this is the type of trading you're looking for. Risk 2, make 2 points. And be happy with it. It's just that hard. Got about a 5-point range right now. I do not think we're going to get a sustained trade in this first hour, either direction.